Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. It's that time again. Time to bring you guys some more Cobramode funkiness. And that is one thing that I absolutely love and continue to be impressed by the sheer variety of unique looking models that Cobramode has put out. So while we have one of our typical Hanzaki salamander ninjas here with a horribly printed giant shuriken. That's not the star. Today we have a few more additions to our Cobramode menagerie. And the first one, appropriately named, is the duck-billed platypotamus. Now I just did a quick spray down. I've got the primer still in my hands as the can died. I always seem to run out of cans right when I need to film, but oh well. And check this out. The perfect spot to hollow him out. I dig this model. It works. It totally works. The only thing I think is it needs to be bigger. I would love to try printing one like in pieces or something, but it is quite a dangerous looking opponent. We're having a human WizKids model here. You can see, I mean, I don't know. I haven't measured the average hippopotami to get a good idea of how large one is, but it seems like it should be bigger. And I mean, it's not like Cobramode is any stranger to giant, crazy monsters that need to be primed and painted. But no, we have the duck-billed platypotamus here, ready to inflict explosive farts and wiggling. Well, he doesn't have any ears. How are they going to warn us of danger? Maybe they're going to honk at us with their duckbills. Besides the platypotamus, we also have, that I unfortunately broke, the Numenoon, which is their big frog monster. How did I break it? Well, his mustache here is actually supposed to go significantly further down, and I will admit that is 100% me. The first one I snapped off accidentally while I was taking him off of the build plate. The other is when I dropped him and he fell. Yeah, so I tried to even it out as best I could, and I am just really scratching my head. How am I going to paint this crazy thing? It's definitely an interesting monster. Almost, I think it could be like an elder bullywog or something like that, you know, some kind of, or what do they call them, Kuatoa now or something like that. Typical frog dudes for D&D. And actually, speaking of D&D, that is one of the coolest things, if you aren't aware. All the monsters and encounters and various races that Cobramode has created so far all have D&D stats for 5th edition. So if you wanted to stat these up and run an adventure, that is totally a plausible thing. And I know exactly the fine folks that I'm going to be running them as. And that are his new Yuanyang, if I'm saying that correctly. A bunch of Chinese-style duck adventurers. This is Silver Rush. Must be his Zhonghua name. They're a little shrimpy. Well, depending on who you stack them up with. I spent my afternoon looking for, there's some platypus guys that Cobramode has made, the Bundabura, and I've painted a couple now. The chemist and the merchant, and I can't find either of them. And that kind of bugs me because I was going to put the merchant in the video for this week. But I don't know where she is. I'm assuming it's a she. I painted it like a she. I don't know the difference between a male and a female platypus, but, you know, it is what it is. So here we have, as I said, Silver Rush, and he is accompanied by his friend of friends, Winterwind. Now, my exposure to ducks of any sort in tabletop games is admittedly quite limited. I vaguely recall was it RuneQuest or Glorantha or one of those that had ducks. The only ducks I remember paying attention to in a video game, or any game in general, I was going to say, was in the Suikoden 3 series with all of its, was it Sergeant Joe or something? I don't remember. There was a duck protagonist. So yeah, pretty cool little adventurers. definitely fits in with the Far Eastern theme that we've seen quite present with the Cobramode stuff. Throwing a couple of extra Hanzaki buddies to hang out with them there. Honk. As they fight off the platypotamus. But actually, that's not what I wanted to really focus on for this video, believe it or not. These are really cool additions, but then I saw something that really caught my eye that Cobramode hadn't put out yet, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to try printing that. And that is, they put out a bust of one of their Hanzaki. And every Hanzaki has a name that starts with a ha or a he. They all kind of follow a very standard naming convention. And it isn't like I haven't printed a ton of Hanzaki yet. I was just getting a unit of Spearmen ready, actually. Which are all available on my mini factory, if you guys are curious. But now check this out. So I tried printing a bust. I don't usually do that. I'm not into that, but I was like, whoa, this is something different. I got to try this. And I got to say, I'm quite impressed. Now, one thing to note. This is not at 100% size. The 100% one would not fit on my Frozen Sonic Mini, but thankfully there was already a pre-supported 85% sized version as well, which fit perfectly on the print bed. And I haven't bothered to really do much else to it yet. I kind of dig the bluish tint to the resin, and I'm kind of tempted just to leave it as is and maybe to spray with a sealer or something. But just the intricacy of the ornamentation on the blade, I really dig it. It looks more Chinese style, but even his armor looks kind of Chinese style. It looks neat. We need more of that on the tabletop. Definitely something different, and I'm going to give it a try. I really am. I am going to try painting this. Obviously, I have quite a few Hanzaki that need to be painted first, but you know what? I'm thinking maybe that's not a bad idea, is painting them all up at the same time with various shades of browns and oranges. Seeing as how that should be what their skin tones look like. You're not a salamander, my friend. I gotta paint this guy too. I've been waiting to paint him. Hopefully, we will clear off enough of my painting table, and I can find the rest of the Bundaburas, because they look like a lot of fun. And I thought it might be kind of cool this summer to use a bunch of these guys in like a Dragon Rampant game. I'm almost at the point where I have enough of these printed that we could actually probably run a whole Frostgrave warband of little midget salamander warriors, but we'll get there. I gotta find the archer ones too. I don't know where I put them. Or was it an archer or a gunner? They were gunners. The Tanegashima. Yeah. So, as always with Cobramode stuff, definitely very visually unique. There is more to offer than just these guys. Let me make that clear. I like to focus on the reptiles and amphibians and just the general weirdness and the Far Eastern themes, but actually there's a lot more than that too. So if you haven't ever had a chance, do take a look at their Patreon page or the My Mini Factory page, both of which will have linked below for you guys to take a good look. Definitely, if you are into something different, something unique, and something fun, both for painting projects or for tabletop purposes, I think you will find something of interest there. And it just continues to impress me how every month there is still something new they've got cooking up. And next month is looking to be quite the same. So, as always, we'll have those links, like I said, down below. And hopefully, like I said, you guys are going to find something you like. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.